Hello. So today I'm going to cover a simple tutorial. It's talking about pxShader.js. pxShader.js is a library that I have created personally, and it just kind of helps me to draw images on the canvas. So if you're familiar with the HTML5 canvas API, so this is basically just a framework or a wrapper that helps like to create simpler code inside the HTML canvas. So if you're interested into it, you just can go to my GitHub page and download that. So it's d360 slash pxShader. Links will be in the description, so you can download it from there, and I'll just download it. You could use kits and download and just clone it, but I'm going to use the old way. So I will download that. um, I'll just open it, and I will just extract words, and I'll extract words my D folder, like my D local drive. So once this is done, I pull up to my D, and we can see there's plenty of samples. So there's grid.png, the icon, and the actual library itself. So yeah, and what I'm going to do is just I'll extract the libzip. um, yes, so extracting the libzip, you have demos and assets. So if I'm not mistaken, demos will just be the samples of HTML, like, okay. So let's just let's just open so let's just open a new window. So if you want to open a new window, if you have Visual Studio Code, it will be okay. Me personally, I'll be using that. You can use other editors like Sublime Text and all the, like, I don't know many much, but yeah, there's Sublime Text, there's Visual Studio Code, and yeah, any code editor that can open a folder, it's okay. So I'll just type by command code that to open the folder in Visual Studio Code, and you can see I have the folder here. So what I want to do, I want to test the demos, like test the demos. So I'll just create index.html file, and once I create that, I just want to, like, I'll use Mx to create a blank folder, and I'll just create it test. And what I want to do here is just include one of my demo pages. So I'll just basically what I'll just do is I'll include my library. So I'll just create as a source. I want to just pick up the pxShader.js, and after that I want to go to one of my demos. So what I can do is just go demos, and there's demo 1, demo 2. Demo 1 is sharing text, so let's try that. Create. So there's demos, demo 0, text.js, and bam. So I'm actually using an extension, so it's live server. So each time it's an extension that permits you to create a live server, and it's having live reload. So each time I change like the content of my page, it will just reload it. So I'll just go live, and bam, we have our page. And as we can see, we have a pretty goofy kind of animation with sharing text. So the text is just presenting, an animation. This is done using pxShader.js. So if you want to dive into the code, you can just go, but I may try and do that during this tutorial, but yeah, if you want to dive into a code, you can do that and try to make things by yourself, look at the syntaxes. So yep, cool. So yeah, we can even try another demo. So let's try oh, fireworks. It looks interesting. So 7, and I'll just fireworks. Oh, fireworks. Oh, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's dive into actually creating our own code, like from scratch. So if you go to my GitHub page, there's just like simple demos. Like you can have like the base, you can pick the basic from that I created. In the README document I created like a sample page, a proper documentation I think so. So I have to like talk about the basic setup. So the basic setup just consists of your script that with your pxShader.js or your library, and you have your scripters where you can import or you can write code directly into your HTML. So that's pretty much it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to create a new variable C, which will be canvas 2D. So I'll just, or I can just say like C will be equals to canvas 2D, and if we do that and we go and refresh our page, which is already done, you can see a plain like kind of rectangle color scheme, and that is called our canvas. So this is where all our drawings, all our animations, all the things, if you're not like used to the canvas, HTML5 canvas, so this is where all our drawings will be going. So it's just like a blank spreadsheet, I mean a blank piece of paper where you can draw things. So yeah, let's dive into it. Actually like try to draw something. So this, actually I want to I almost like missed this. So I want to talk about something about this method. So this function takes parameters. It takes, the first parameter is the height, the width I mean. So I can put 500, the height 400, and you can see the size of the canvas have changed. So I can also put like 800, and you see a larger canvas. So I'll just keep it at 500, and I'll just like try to 800, yeah. And it also has two additional parameters. The two additional parameters are boolean values. So you can actually say that you want to text align like center the canvas. So if you put true and true, you align the canvas, and it will also render the canvas major responsive. So you can see it's aligned, and if you go, you can see it's still aligned. It's kind of major responsive. It's just like the same display kind of thing. But if we were just one through, yeah, you can see it's not really that. So yeah, important thing to know. So okay, let's try and talk about like, let's talk about something first before going into that. So I want to introduce you the grid system. So in canvas and HTML5 canvas and the pxShader library, we have like a grid, and this is like a representation of the grid. You can define like in the library folder, and it's named grid.png. So this is a basic representation of the grid. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. um, if you are used like to coordinate geometry in maths, you would gradually pick up to that, but it's not really that complicated. So what we I want to explain to you is like how it works. So the grid is a system that allows you to draw a shape in a particular coordinate, I would say. So at a particular point. So these are my y values and these are my x values. So here the grid will not really like it will change depending on what you're doing. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, depends on the shape of the canvas, it will just change a little bit. So that's one thing you can do. And if I want to draw if I want to draw like a point here, so my x coordinate, since this one is the x axis, my x coordinate will be here, so it will be 12, and my y coordinate will be at the y axis, so it will be 12 here. So that's pretty much about the coordinate system or the grid system. So what I want to do is just like show you an example. Luckily I have provided a method for the grid system in my functions. So if I'm not mistaken, if I can quickly pull that out. So let me think. Okay, so the method to pull out the grid system is just typing grid or the function, and here you just want to like specify the number of you want to specify the scale or the number of lines or the number of points for one line. I don't know how to explain it, but principally if you say 5, you just if you put 5 here and you go to the grid, what will happen is that like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this for each 5 you just draw a line. So you will just you will not be having this, you will just be having 5, and you have 10, and um you have um 15 and 20, and same for the x-axis. But the thing is just like the coordinates of the 5, 10, 15 will be represented as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will not be really having to look at the actual value. So actually this parameter is just like a scale. So if you want to have like the actual x value of the point on the grid system, you just want to multiply the scale by the value that is the value here. So that's pretty much it. So let's dive into it and save this code and run it, and we see a grid, but this one is too small so we cannot really see. I'm not really sure whether you can see the actual value plotted. No, you cannot. So what I will do is I will just increase the scale a little bit, like let me just take 25, and boom. Yeah, so this what I meant the last time is just this one will represent 25. So if I want to draw a, let's say, a point or anything like on this thing, so I'll have to say okay, I want to draw it at 25. The y value will be 25, not the y value will not be 1. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you are drawing the grid system. So without further ado, let's dive into actually drawing a shape so that you can like take a hand out with the grid system and understand how it works. So to draw a shape, we are going to start with a basic shape, and I am going to create a rectangle. So to draw a rectangle, I can, there are many ways. So the first thing I can do is just create a variable, let r will be equals to rec, and what I want to do is just pass it an object. So the object has to have like couple of parameters. It has to have an x value. So x value will be, let's think, so I want to draw it somewhere here, so it will be 25. So the x value, I mean the y value will be 25, but the x value will be 25 times 26. So I'm not really good at math, so let's just 25 times 26, so it will be 650. So the x value will be 650, the y value will be 25, and it also has to have um, the width. So the width is w, the width, let's say it's 20, and the height will be also 20. So we are drawing a square. So doing this will not actually draw the rectangle. So once you have like your rectangle, yeah, you've used this method to pass a rectangle, it will return an object, and the object will be an object shaped rectangle. So it will be a rectangular shaped object. So that's what it means. And this, if we just console.log our r, um, we can see it's an object, and the object has a couple of properties. It has a color, a stroke, a type, which is object shape rect, with this object shape rectangle which I specify. So this actually means that it's a rectangular shaped object in pxShader, and I want, there's also a method that's called draw. So I want to use that method. So I'll go draw, and doing that you can see this is white rectangle that appears on the canvas, and we are pretty much done. We've created our first shape, which is a rectangle. So that's it, and you can see that's really precise because you can see it's 25. The grid system shows one that we have to multiply by the scale, and it will be 25 and 25 times 26, which is the x coordinate. So the x value here will be 25 times 26, and the y value will be 1 times 25, which is 25, and that's how we draw it. So okay, so now that we are done with presenting the grid system, and like we've done the our first square, what we can do is just uh, go over the, okay, let's draw another type of shape. So there are many types of shape. There's a square, and there's also a circle. So let's go up after the circle. The circle, we say let c will be equals to arc, and for the circle the parameters change a little bit. So is the arc is a method that permits you to draw a circle, and it's having some parameters. You're having x, and let's say we want to draw the circle at the same point we drew the rectangle. So it's having an x, our x will be 25. It's having in y, our y will be 650, because it's 26 times 25, which is 650. We're having our r, let's say our r will be 25, and yeah, I think that's all. So you have x value, y value, and r value. You don't need a width of the or a height like in the rectangle shape. So yeah, it's a bit different. So we have now also a method like all shapes, object shapes have a draw method, so I can just say c.draw. Okay, so I am getting an error, I think, because I can see. So it says, oh, identifier C has already been defined. Yeah, that's what I did. The C is the canvas to the object, so I can just say circle, and I will just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so I am not seeing the circle. So what did I use? Yep, it should work normally. Okay, let's try it. Let's try something. Let's just put it. Alright, here it is. So I think I just drew it a little bit larger, and just, so if I draw it, I think I just drew it too far, it is gone, and so it doesn't appear on the canvas. So if you draw it too far, it will not appear. So that's one thing to take into consideration. And when you draw a shape, you have to take into consideration that this r corresponds to the value from the distance from here to here. So like the actual like diameter will be 50. So if you want to like put the diameter to be 25, you can just say that, okay, I want to have a diameter, a radius of 12.5, and this will put a diameter of 25. So let's draw this actually somewhere here, and like that at value 10. And to do that, you just want to multiply 10 by the grid scale, which will be 10 times 25, which is actually, I can just say, okay, 10 times 10 25, but 10 times 25 is 250. And oh, I understand. So I mix the value, so it will be 10 times 25 as my x value and not as my y value. So that's one thing. So you have to take into consideration, and I want to put my 25 here. So yeah, that's what you get. You get 10 times 25, which is at the 10 value, and we have our y value, which is 1. So what I could also do is just create a general value scale. So I can just say const scale equals to 25, and I can just say okay, so I want to use scale, and I can just say okay, 10 times scale, and I have 1 times scale, so I don't have to worry about the funny goofy calculation type of thing. So I can actually use the actual value I see. So I want to draw like if some a value, the circle somewhere here, I can say okay, I want to draw it at 17 and 27. So the y value will be 17 and the x value will be 27. So I can just say okay, our x value was 27 and our y value was 17, and boom.